What's up, class? Evans here. So I'm going to go back to Onshape inside of lamp because we're going to make those bars. I'm going to show you a new tool. So we'll create a document, lamp, wireframe with your initials. I'm going to create a sketch on the front view. And I want two lines, one here and one here. They need to be the same height, so I'll fix that later. I want them to both be the same distance away from the ones that I just made, and I made them from the center 1.5 inches over. So that's 1.5 and 1.5. There we go. And let's make them the same height. We'll go 2 inches on each side. There we go. Okay, notice that there's no base down here. Now I need to make some curves. Let me do a center point arch. So I put my mouse on that, but I'm not clicking, and I'm gonna go off to the side and click, and then click, and then I'm gonna do an arch shape like that. This arch, let's try to keep the numbers fairly simple. So we can do 1.25, and I want to be able to control how far out that arch goes. Let me put a construction line. I want those to be 45. And I'm going to click here and here. And I want to right click and make those construction. There we go. Because I don't want them to be drawn on. And then I'm going to do the same thing out here. That needs to be 1.25. And I want the same issue. I want to put construction lines here. I'll convert them into construction lines. And that I want to be 45. And I want these to be tangent to each other. Oh, I didn't like that. I'm going to need to delete that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so to help explain what your teacher has done, I've drawn a curve that goes out and then curve that goes back in, and then it's going to have a straight part here. So what I accidentally did is I lined this up to here. And if you notice, and let me maybe show what I did again. See all these things that came up? These are all constraints saying, okay, you said for me to do this. Like, for instance, I said that these are to be tangent, but I couldn't do that. Tangent means it's smooth, and here it's like it's bent. These are all saying these dots are connected, and this is supposed to be horizontal to this point, and this is supposed to be vertical to this point. And so all these little like vertical, horizontal constraints. But this one, I said the endpoint needs to be in line with this line, horizontal to it, vertical to it. And I clicked on that and I pressed delete on my keyboard and said, no, I actually didn't want that. So those are constraints that it makes a lot of assumptions for you. Some of them you force it to be that way, but that wasn't working, so I had to get rid of it. All right, so I've made my curves going out like that. I'm going to use, let's see, a tool to go straight up to clear the light bulb. Let's see. The whole shade we made about 6 to 8 inches tall. How tall did we make it? That plain offset, how tall was that? 5? Oh, that's shorter than I remembered. Okay. So if it's 5, then we don't want that to be too high off of it because you don't want to see the light bulb. So we might have to change the height of that. Let's see, then maybe this should be smaller. Maybe this should be 1. And maybe this 1.5. We'll see how this all looks, and we might have to change some of these numbers. I would like to mirror. I'm going to select a mirror line here, and I'm going to select the entities I want to mirror, and that's this one, and this one. Drawing for free. Thank you, mirror tool. Now I want a center point arc. I'm not putting it there. I'm just using it to line up here and here. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to go from here to here to here. There we go. So now I've got my wireframe. Now what I need is to tell it how thick this wireframe is. So I'm going to finish that sketch, and I'm going to start a second sketch right on the top view. And I want a circle, and I want it to line up with where that is. And this circle needs to be 0.125. Boy, that's small, right? And then hit the check mark. And now I'm going to use a new tool here called Sweep. Well, it's not new, but it's new to you. So I'm going to click on that circle I just did. That's the face. And then I'm going to click here on Sweep Path. And I'm going to click on the path pieces. Watch as it builds my entire wireframe. Hopefully no errors. Cool, huh? So that's the frame that I'm going to attach to the lamp so that I can attach the shade to it. But I do need a little piece coming off the top. So I want to do another plane offset. And it needs to be like right at this height here, which should be, I guess, 6.5. There. So I'm going to create a sketch on that. I'm going to look at it from the top, and I'm going to put just the same kind of screw hole connection I can make there. So 0.25. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the actual thing, and we're going to extrude that. Probably don't need a whole inch, maybe just half an inch. 0.5. Let's do 0.625. There we go. There we go. That's our connect. Oops, I forgot something. Let me put this on before I end this video. I am missing a little washer at the end here for it to sit on. So I need to create a sketch. Let's see, probably slightly above that. So we'll have to do another offset. So this is going to look silly. I'm going to offset it 0.125, slightly above it. There we go. Oh, maybe even less than that. Divide by 2. There we go. That's plane 2. And I'm going to hide plane 1 so I don't accidentally click on it. And I'm going to put just a small circle right in the middle. Let me zoom in there to make sure I'm clicking in the right spot. Looks like it is. I need a circle maybe an inch. Oops, I clicked a button. So I'll put an inch, 1 inch. And we want to extrude that just a little bit tall. Not very tall. 0.125 is probably good. Maybe even more than needed. There we go. Now it looks like the piece that I have. So now back to the regular video piece. So I'm going to hide this stuff. All these extra things here. And that's my wireframe. That is what I'm going to connect onto what we just made on the lamp base right here. So when I assemble it all together, that's one of the main pieces.